when you play the game, hopefully you're playing to win. But when you do lose, know that it's only setting you up to get a better strategy to get back in the game. This message is for someone out there. Kamisha Monica, everybody. Now, welcome to the Las Vegas Tribune News, local news and online music and entertainment. My name is Kamisha Monica. Everybody, if you ain't here, you ain't nowhere. We're back with another show. Now, I did mention last week there was some really big and something really super happening in Las Vegas. And guess what? Well, I'll say this. The San Francisco 49ers were sent packing. They lost. But it was a close game with the Kansas City Chiefs. And on top of that, I get it. Big sports town, Las Vegas, everything. I might be talking about sports a little bit more over the next coming year. However, I'll say this. What happened after the game? So ridiculous. They went to have their parade, and of course, you want to come out and celebrate and say, hey, our city is champions, our state, we're doing the thing, we're big, we took home a Super Bowl. Super Bowl 58 went to us, and then I have to call a spade. Some idiots showed up to the parade and turned it into a mass shooting. What? Who are we, America? Who are we? What are we doing? Our kids have to grow up in this country. And no, I don't have kids, but I once was a kid. And the thought of a mass shooting and seeing it on the news is very disturbing. I pray for everybody that was affected by it, from the people that were there and the people that we're watching on television. This is traumatizing. So prayers go out. I must say that. And congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for taking home Super Bowl 58. Sorry they put a damper on your win, but you know what? You guys are champions, and don't ever forget that. All right, everybody. I'm going to move on to two things you could do in Las Vegas. Now, I did find something really, I don't know, this is different. Very different. I don't know if they have this anywhere else in the world, but it's called Smash Room Las Vegas. It's where you go and they have like plates, printers, glasses, and they see it as a form of therapy for some people. You're allowed to destroy, demolish, and damage a variety of things that can be broken. It's a cost to do it. I think somewhere around $52 to $55. But that's something you can do in Vegas that's very different and probably great for pictures. Second, this one, panoramic night tour. It's where you get on the big bus. They give you a drink to go with this ticket. And I guess they have like little prizes. You can do that. That cost is about $63. Now, I'm going to move on to social updates. Now, this social update, it's a real update, okay? It's happening now. How many people out there have T-Mobile as your provider? If you do, you might want to be on lookout if you are doing like mass texting with big groups. Well, there's a couple of things that they're saying they're going to fine businesses, not individuals, for. Well, listen up. They're going to be giving out fines for third-party vendors that send mass messaging campaigns on behalf of other businesses. It's not for individuals or customers. Consumers. A couple of things. If you're talking about these things and you're sending out mass messaging, and this is within certain circumstances, so let's not get too far away from that. However, if you're discussing sex, hate, alcohol, firearms, or tobacco, this content and it violates federal law or is sent without age verification system, you will be fined. Now, how I got to this is Instagram. There are a lot of people on there just spewing information that was actually incorrect. So this is correct. Okay, it's not going to be for individuals sending messages. However, I understood why they went off. I think there's a privacy concern. And I know that, you know, we are with the carriers, the companies we choose to put our information through, or just like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all of these, I would say they have the right to refuse. It's kind of that thing when you walk in a business, the right to refuse service or this. Well, I think this is kind of like an extension of that, but it's more about keeping hate out of our phones or through mass messaging or alcohol, whatever those things are. I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence with it just because I feel like there's a little bit of privacy overstepping. It gives me kind of this idea, something I learned when I was in school about like the Patriot Act. This is something that I was like, I don't know, it came to mind. Next, number two. In Alabama, I don't know if you guys are aware, but nitrogen gas executions are allowed. Okay, they did the first one, and apparently from onlookers, it didn't go too well. When you have been sentenced to death, and whether it's like by lethal injection or, I don't know, something they do, I've never seen a firing squad or anything like that, but I know they used to do that kind of thing way back in the day. However, apparently you are not supposed to feel anything when you are being put to death. And they noticed with the first person who was executed that he was shaking violently. So the next person has filed a lawsuit, who's supposed to be executed, filed a lawsuit that this was not going to be a, how it's supposed to go. It was not going to be a cruel and unusual punishment. You have the constitutional right from protection from cruel and unusual punishment. And they said that this first, let me give you the word that they used. Well, I didn't write it down. How about that? Well, they're challenging it anyway. And this inmate says he does not want to die by nitrogen gas asphyxiation because it would be cruel and unusual punishment. I kind of agree with him on that. And I'm not sure why we're still putting people to death. I know it's a state-by-state thing, but I mean, a life sentence in jail is probably long enough in isolation. I don't know. Some people commit crazy crimes, and I'm sure the crime that he committed against that person, they felt it all the way to their death. However, there are laws in place so that this type of execution, it is allowed, but there's certain boundaries with it. All right, moving on. That was a little tough topic. Last but not least, Chicago. Chicago, have you ever heard of, wait a minute, Shot Spotter contract? If you don't know about this contract is a contract in which a system that relies on artificial intelligence, it also relies on network microphones to be placed in the city to hear gunshots. Well, Chicago says they're not going to be doing this anymore at the end of the year. So what I'm going to say is the reason they use this technology, well, they wanted to dictate where the gunshots were coming from, and I guess maybe the police could get there a little bit faster. However, because of problems with inaccuracy, racial bias, and law enforcement misuse, these are 3 things that were named. They've criticized the way this Shot Spotter contract has been operating. So they will no longer be using this. They didn't give a date. I didn't see a date, but by the end of the year. And that's it for your social updates. Now, we'll be right back with the state of Black American culture. Stay tuned. Click in.
Introducing See Us Now Staffing, led by yours truly, Laura Nowlin. As the founder and president, I bring over 17 years of expertise in sourcing for talent, building winning teams of professionals, marketing, and workforce development. At See Us Now Staffing, we're not just a staffing agency. We're your strategic partner in building a winning team of professionals for your business. My passion for community service extends to connecting entrepreneurs with local resources. Recognized by the Small Business Administration as the 2022 Nevada Family-Owned Business of the Year, we're not just changing the workforce landscape, we're defining it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the State of Black American Culture. All right, everybody. Well, today we're going to talk about black buying power. If you didn't know, the black spending power is expected to reach $1.8 trillion this year. This year. My question is, who and where are we spending our money? You know? And I find that a little bit, I don't know if these numbers are like over the top or whatever, but for the black dollar not to come back to the black community and people always arguing over this, I had to do a little research because I wanted to see where our money was going. And top three things: household, which is like your rent payment, and then second, transportation, and third, food. Interesting. And the household actually is consuming the largest portion of our annual say it right, expenditures. I got it. Expenditures. Yeah. Thank you, John. You see, he got my back. Okay. So, you know, according to Nielsen research, 2020 to 2060, our population is actually supposed to grow. I forgot to put the number on here, y'all. I'll give y'all that next week. However, in the Hispanic population, it's actually supposed to decrease by 27%. So I find that a little interesting. But as far as the black dollar, I'm not sure where we're spending majority of our money, because $1.8 trillion is a lot of money. But they did say most of it is going towards our rent. So that led me to think, probably the next show, are we more renters or buyers? Because at least if we're buying homes, we're putting the money back into our pocket with equity over the long haul. So for now, that's going to be the state of black American culture. And I'm going to move on to who got bought. All right, everybody. This story right here. This. All right. If you are sensitive to, and I want to say I want to use the word, it's violent for me. It's violent for me. This is something, it's not like, well, eating people was violent, because I did a story on that a few weeks ago, but this is also violent. Well, let me just get to the story. I don't know. It feels violent to me. I don't know why. Maybe you'll feel a little bit different. And it also makes me feel sick to my stomach. Well, guess who's in the hot seat this week? Clay County, Georgia. Clay County in Georgia. Well, Dr. Tracy St. Julian, who I guess was working at Southern Regional Medical Center on this day. I don't know if she works there all the time, but she was there this day, helping a family bring in a newborn child. Okay? Well, baby Travion Isaiah Jr. never made it into this world. And currently, she's facing a lawsuit from the parents. I don't think I've ever imagined something like this happening. But I'm not a mother, and I'm sure mothers think about a million things that can go wrong when they're getting ready to have a child. Well, the medical examiner's office said that baby Travion died from a fracture, dislocation with complete transection, upper cervical C1, C2 spine, and spinal cord due to shoulder dystocia and fetal entrapment in the labor birth canal. Well, the parents were unaware that this is how their child died. You say, how? How is that even possible? Well, they knew the child had passed. However, it wasn't until the funeral home had a conversation with the parents where they understood that their child was decapitated. The doctor apparently pulled the baby out, and when she pulled the baby out, the head was left inside the mother. So that's decapitated. And get this. According to the examiner office, by determining the death of the baby in this way, it was ruled a homicide. And the lawsuit is from the parents is claiming that the doctor applied excessive traction. And the hospital tried to cover up the details, allegedly. It's sad, it's disappointing, but also it's one of the most memorable times in a parents' lives when they have their children. So anything can go wrong in a birth, but for this to happen and the parents are completely oblivious to the fact of how their child died, I think for that there is a lawsuit, and just on that alone, it's full of sadness. So guys, if you're out there, and you feel something has gone wrong with your doctor, your dentist, or anybody taking care of your body, I think you should speak up, and I think you should challenge. And I'm not saying I'm trying to start, a riot or a war or anything like this. No, I'm not. But something like this it's awful. And I'm going to get off that because it gives me anxiety and all the other things. Prayers go out to that family. And doctor, maybe you're new, or maybe you didn't know because you've never been in this situation. Honestly, I don't think you're going to be a doctor anymore after this if you're found guilty. Anyways, moving on. I'll be right back with Network Music World Artist Song of the 21st Century. Make sure you click in. See.
Hi, my name is Edgar Alejandro. I'm the co-founder of Rising Again Productions. So we've been here in Vegas producing films for the past couple of years, and we've seen our fair share of studios. We've worked in our fair share of studios, and to be honest, WWDBTV has been our favorite by far. John is so welcoming. The space is wonderful. It's perfect for what we need. We've had rehearsals here, we've had callbacks here, we've had table reads here. So if you're a Vegas creative, or really just a creative coming into Vegas, definitely check out this space, chat with John. I think you'll find that this studio has everything that you'll need as well.
Network Music World Artists Song in the 21st Century goes to Network Music World Artists Song in the 21st Century goes to all right, with lyrics like, I don't mind spending every day outside in the pouring rain, look for the girl with the broken smile and ask her if she wants to stay a while. I'm staying. 2004, from the album Songs About Jane, with YouTube 36.9 million subscribers, Billboard Hot 100, it hit the number 4 spot. Label Octane and J, songwriters, abbreviate AL, James Valentine, producers, Matt Wallace. Network Music World Artist Song of the 21st Century goes to Maroon 5, Adam Levine with She Will Be Loved. Thank you for your contributions to music. And you are our Network Music World Artist Song of the 21st Century. Life is good. It gets better with music. I'll be right back with our closing thoughts.
Hi, I'm John P.G. Stiles. Some people call me JPEG. You can probably guess why. I'm the founder and partner at WWDBTV. Does your business need a commercial, or do you already have one and you just want to get the message out there? Do you need a sizzle reel? Do you need an audition tape for a part that you're up for? Or have you ever thought about hosting your own show? Well, this is the place, WWDBTV.
Now for our closing thoughts. Before I go, a thought just crossed my mind. To play the game, do you always have to win for it to be a success? Some might say yes and some might say no. But showing up is also a win. So don't ever forget about that. And whether you're focused on building with your life and making more of what you did yesterday and being better at it today, I would say just keep trying and go for it. And when it comes to the state of Black American culture, we're making the money, is what they're saying. And we have it to spend. But where are we spending it? I'm curious. It says on the household, but maybe there's some disposable income out there that we are giving away. I don't know. We got to get it together. All in the end, though, I would say this. Life is what we're going to make it. And if we don't do better at the way we're treating people going forward in the world, no matter what the situation is, we're all doomed. So I say this, everybody, let's get to a better point in life where we are focusing on so much more than ourselves, but starting with ourselves. We're here coming together to make a better world. Everybody, that's it. That's all. Until we meet again, I'll see you next week. Deuces.